I'm going to show you how to get 20,000 XP per minute in Starfield using outposts. This is actually crazy, and this is not like glitches or abusive. I mean, it's basically abusing game mechanics, but there's not like glitches or cheats or anything. It's literally in-game mechanics that you can take advantage of to get this XP. Now, I'm level 101 already. In case you were curious, you only need 10,000 XP for a level at level 100, so I can still get a 2 levels a minute doing what I'm about to show you. So this is actually going to be really complicated. It's going to use outposts. Well, I'm going to try to keep it simple, keep it down to the bare minimum to get you started on this, and then you can scale it as much as you want. You don't have to scale like me. My game literally like freezes a lot of the times because of how much stuff I have on this planet for XP farming. But I'm going to show you the theory of how to do this, and you can scale it however you want. The first thing we're going to need to do is go to UC Distributions. This is in Jemison, the commercial district in Alpha Centauri. When you go to the commercial district, you'll start there. You'll go down this way. It'll be on your right. Inside of here is one of the best places to just get resources, and we are going to need a bunch of different resources. So I'm going to walk through the ones to buy here. If you don't have credits, check out the description of this video for money farms. I have a lot of different ways for you to get credits to get you started. So we're going to need a few credits to get started with this. So I'm just going to assume you have those credits. All right, let me walk through all the resources we need here. If she's missing something, we'll just have to wait 24 hours. So we need adaptive frames, which she doesn't have. We need aluminum. We also need beryllium. We need cobalt. We need copper. We need iron. We also need lubricant. We also need nickel. And then we also need tungsten. And that's all that we need. The only thing she was missing was adaptive frames. If she's missing something, or even if she isn't missing something, you still want to sit down, wait 24 hours, and buy everything like 2 or 3 times. You want to make sure you have enough. You don't want to come back. It's such a time dump to have to go back and forth constantly during this. If she doesn't have enough adaptive frame, you can actually make adaptive frame with iron and aluminum. So just buy more of that, and then we'll have enough, because you gotta have a bunch of adaptive frame. Next up, you're gonna have to upgrade your ship a little bit. You don't have to make a full-on freighter like I do, but you'll need some more cargo slots. So you can do that. The ship services technician, he's right at the port or whatever at Jemison. You go to view and modify ships, and ideally you steal one or you buy one and you just adjust it some. So we can take, say, this one for example that I have, go to the shipbuilder and then add, and then go over here to the cargo and then find a cargo piece and then take it out and get it set on here, and you can delete pieces to make room. You can make an abomination. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm also going to use left control and G to duplicate, and then throw those on, and I could delete these, and then I could do the same thing here, duplicate and flip it with Z on, the buttons are at the bottom right if you need to know where the buttons are. Duplicate, and now I have something that can carry way more cargo at the cost of the mobility and stuff. So do something like that. Just get something that can carry a few thousand cargo to get you started, and then you're good to go. Then once you have the cargo on and you're near the ship like this, you can open up your inventory, go to the bottom left, which is the ship, go to the cargo hold, and then go to your inventory and go to your resources, and then you can store them all inside of your cargo, which is going to make everything way more convenient for you. You can do that, go get more resources, come in, store them, go get more resources, come in, store them. And then also you might want to get the heavy lifting or weightlifting physical trait. That one will help out a lot. Next, you're going to get a planet with iron and a planet with aluminum to get started. I don't know if the planets are the same on everybody's playthrough, if they get seeded at the beginning. You guys let me know, but on my playthrough, Kurtz, right next to Jemison, this planet has aluminum, and then this one right over here, Zamka, over here, it has iron. So what you do is you go to one of these, and then over here's a button. I've already done it, but you hold R, and it'll scan it. It'll show you where the resources are, and then I can go here and be like, okay, here's aluminum. Then I'm going to land there on one of the spots with aluminum. It'll generate a map, and then I'm going to make an outpost. So you get out here, and you pull out your scanner to find the resources. And then what you're going to do is you're going to press the button at the bottom left, means R, to put out an outpost, and then put it down. Now you have an outpost. Now we need to use extractor. So I'm going to swap the view with V. It's the bottom right, toggle view V. We're going to go to aluminum. And if you haven't done any research, you'll just have the basic one like this. It will use iron, aluminum, and tungsten to put it down. So we're going to go ahead and slap down a bunch of these things. So you can put them right on the edge. It doesn't have to be in the middle. They make the same amount no matter where they are, so just find a way for them to work. So let's just put down, say, 5 of these things. Then we're going to go to top right, C and Z on PC in order to swap tabs. We're going to swap tabs. We need power. All right, so now we're going to take, depending on the planet, solar arrays or wind turbines. There are no wind turbines on this one because there's no atmosphere, so we do the solar array. All right, we're going to put down solar arrays, and at the bottom right, you can see our needed power and total power. So we put down solar arrays till we have enough power. I'm going to put down some extra ones just for good measure. Then we go to the next tab, and we have a few different things that we need. So first off, we need storage for all this aluminum. So we're going to take these storage containers. If you've researched, you have better ones available to you. This is where you need the adaptive frame, aluminum, and iron. So we're going to take these, we're going to put them down, gonna put down ideally a bunch of them, although it can be really weird with elevation, so I'm gonna try to fix this real fast. Okay, whatever. It's working some which way. So we just want to throw these down anywhere, however we can, and then get a bunch of them down. Okay, now you have storage. All right, so now you're gonna press at the bottom right, modify mode is tab on PC, and you're going to do the buttons at the bottom right. There's create output link. It's right click on keyboard and our mouse and keyboard, and then you're gonna press E to attach it. So we attach it to here, right click E, right click E, right click E, and we're going to attach all these storage containers to one another, so that way it'll store all of our aluminum. So then we're gonna attach all the aluminum ones to this first one right here, and then after this we have a planet for our aluminum, and then we need to do this again and again and again for different resources real fast. So here's our aluminum storage. Now we need a few more things. We go to build mode, and we're going to go to this last tab, and we're going to do a landing pad with shipbuilder. This uses 0 wire, which I forgot to mention in the previous part. It's something else that we were supposed to buy and accidentally just glossed over. Iron, adaptive frame, and beryllium. Yeah, and then also we're going to need transfer container. Actually, yeah, we need transfer container. Okay, so then also a transfer container. It's tungsten, lubricant, and iron. That's where the lubricant comes into play. Now that we do that, we can go over here, and right now on launch is really buggy, so our ship doesn't automatically go onto here. Instead, a lot of times, it depends. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if your ship's not on it, go to view and modify ships, and then open up the shipbuilder, and then close the shipbuilder. And then if that doesn't work, the other thing you can do is view and modify ships, make a different ship your home ship, and then go back to your main ship and make that your home ship. And then if that doesn't work, then I don't know what's going on, because my ship literally doesn't exist now, but it's one of those that's supposed to work. All right, and if it did or didn't work, well, if it did, go down to here to your ship in your inventory, and then go to cargo hold. You should be able to just transfer things from the outpost now, from that transfer container. You can also do it by picking them up and doing it. So the last thing we need here is to open up the outpost. So open the scanner, press R or whatever it is for the outpost, go to modify mode, and attach that last container to the transfer storage thing. Then we can open up our inventory again, go to our cargo hold, over here, cargo hold, and then we can swap from inventory and then the outpost, and now we can move the aluminums directly to our ship. So now whenever we come here, we just got to get our ship onto this platform by using that method right here with modifying it, and then we can just really quick open our inventory and transfer it. Faster way, by the way, if you have a ton, is you can go here and you can cargo hold, inventory, outpost, and then spam the button for storing, and then back out to here, and then open it again, and it'll refresh it. And you can just do that over and over and over again, and then fill it full of aluminum in this particular case. All right, so the aluminum planet is pretty much done. One other thing that's nice to add, though, is add an industrial workbench to each place. So that way, if you need, say, the 0 wire or something like that, you can go to the industrial workbench, and you can just make it from some of the materials that you have. Now I'm going to head over to Zamka, where there's iron. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to scan it. We're going to look for the iron. We found a patch of iron, click on it, and then land, and I'm just going to repeat that process again. All right, so I fast forward. I basically did the same thing for this iron world. Now we have some iron that we can use. We have storage for it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our scanner, open up our outpost, and then we're going to go to build mode, and we're going to put down a chair or a bench. And then what we can do is we can sit and wait, and if we wait for like a few hours or 24 hours, all these will fill up with a resource. And then we can come in here and we can grab all the iron, and then we can go to our inventory and we can go to the cargo hold and we can stuff it full of iron by going to our inventory and stuffing it full of iron. And then we'll get our cargo ship full of iron and aluminum. Then we're going to go to a workbench. So I'm going to put down another workbench here on this other world. Industrial workbench. And we can take that iron and aluminum, and it'll come straight from our ship, if I remember this right. If not, just pick a bunch up, and then you can also make a workshop in your ship on a 2x1. That'll let you have an industrial workbench. And you're going to make a bunch of industrial frame. Now, this will get you XP, but that's not what we're going to be doing for XP at all. This is because we need these in order to make storage later on. So now with the adaptive frames, if we... Sorry, wrong thing. If we open up build mode... you notice that in here, the solid containers, they use adaptive frame, aluminum, and iron. Now we have infinite storage. You can go between these plants, you can make adaptive frames, you can get infinite iron, you can get infinite aluminum. You are all set for the XP farm. Now we just need to set it up. So assuming our planets are the same, which I still don't know that for sure, but if they are, then there's a place up here called Razzlehog, and you're gonna go here. If not, if it's not the same on your world, then you're gonna go to a different world, and you're going to try to find the same combo. So you see the resources at the bottom left. What we're looking for is a world that has nickel and cobalt, which is actually not that uncommon for a world to have. They have nickel and they have cobalt. So now we're going to show the resources on this map. And I've already done one on here, but I'm going to do another. So we go here, and we can, right on the edge of the cobalt and the nickel, like that somewhere, we can land and then look for a cropping of cobalt and nickel that are both right next to each other. Now, one trick you can do to make this faster is you can open up the outpost, and when you're walking around with this, you can see at the top left what resources are nearby. So if I put it right here, there is nickel and cobalt nearby, so I can place this. I can also delete it if I want, which I'll show you in a sec. But I can toggle the view and then zoom out by looking down, like whatever you do to look down, so swiping your mouse down or pressing down on the right thumbstick. And we can see right here is cobalt, because I'm on the extractor cobalt. And then I swap to the extractor nickel, and then I can look for the nickel deposit that must be nearby, which is over here. So this isn't a great spot, because normally you'd want to find much bigger patches to use than these. So ideally, you'll find like 3 or 4 patches of each that are right next to each other. But just for the purpose of demonstration, this is good enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down nickel extractors. And you're going to do this in your world. You're going to do this as efficiently as possible. And you're going to try to get down as many of these things as you can possibly fit into your world. So do that, and then go to the cobalt, and then we're going to do the same thing for the cobalt. Cobalt spread out more, so you're going to need a lot more space of it. And then you get the idea here of what I'm doing here. I'm just making these resources. So then the next thing we need is again, we need the power. So I'm going to slap these down real fast. And then on this one, we don't even need the ship thing. On this world, we just need storage, and we need the extractors. So now what we'll do is we'll take the storage. If you have the better research, you can make the better storage. If not, you know, you'll stick to the small one. And then I'm just going to throw down a bunch of storage. And just, this is for demonstration purposes only here, because I'll do it on the other outpost when I actually show you the exploit. So we'll just throw down a bunch of storage and keep them separate ideally. Then you're going to go to modify mode, and you're going to do the same thing before, where you attach all of one resource to one group of crates, and then all of the ones to the other, whatever. So all the cobalt will go to these, and all the nickel will go to those. After that, you're pretty much good to go. And the reason we did the aluminum iron first is just so we can throw down infinite storage crates. These things really add up on that aluminum and iron cost. But at that point, you're good to go. One other thing you may want to do if you're on a world that has animals is you may want to go to build mode and go to defenses and put down turrets all over the place on the base, or else, I think this is what happens, but these things can get damaged, and then you'll have to repair them, which is not something you would normally encounter. But thanks to something we're going to exploit in this, it might actually become a problem, because we're going to make 100 days pass in 1 minute of real-life time in order to fill these containers. All right, so fast forward to me and my other outpost. I'm at my other one now, where I have my insane storage. I have an industrial workbench, which I can't use because outposts are really bugged in this game. So I have to save my game, because I just got here. I have to save my game and load my game, because there's a crazy bug right now you might run into where everything says it's obstructed. If that happens, save your game, load your game, it'll fix it. There's tons of bugs with the outpost system, and a lot of them can be fixed with saving and loading. Not all of them, but at least this one can be. So now what you'll notice, I have all this storage, right? And all of it is not full. So a lot of that's full. It's crazy that I have that many that are full. That's an asinine amount of resources. But then I go over to these ones. These ones are connected over there. They're not full either. Or they're not all full. So when you first do this, you'll put down all the storage, and these things only fill so fast. So you need a way to fast forward time. So naturally, you would think, okay, let's put down a chair, and let's sit and let time pass, right? Well, that's wrong. That is not what you want to do. So if I wait here, you'll notice in UT, 24 local hours is only 23 universal time hours. Well, resource gathering goes off of universal time. It has nothing to do with the local hours. So what we want is we want a planet where 1 hour of the local hours is as many hours of universal time as possible. And lo and behold, there's an Easter egg planet in this game just for that. So in real life, there's a solar system that we live in, and that solar system exists in here. It's nicknamed Sol. If you go to Sol, this is the solar system that we exist in. There's Earth, there's Mars, there's Venus. Now, if you know anything about astronomy, you'll know that Venus rotates extremely slow. So lo and behold, Easter egg in the game, they actually made Venus rotate really slow like in real life. They didn't do it correctly. 1 day of Venus time is 200 something days of Earth time, but in this game it's 100 to 1, so it's not scaled right, but it's still an Easter egg where you can make time pass super fast. So you'll come here on a landing spot, and then you're gonna get inside your ship. You're going to find a bed or a chair inside of the ship. I don't even know where I am. Okay, oh, that's right. I changed my ship. So one safe way to find a chair usually is a crew seat. Okay. Sit down in the crew seat while on Venus, and then wait. And you'll notice 24 local hours is 2,400 hours of universal time. So by making 24 hours pass here, we make 100 days pass on the other planet, which even if you don't have a lot of extractors, if you have as much storage as I do, it will probably fill all of your storage. Every 24 hours of universal time with like 5 extractors will make something like, say, 100 to 200 resources, depending on what resource it is. Maybe like 500 if it's like aluminum or iron or something. So by doing this and making a third of a year pass, then you can fill up all of your containers. So after this, you'll cancel, and then you'll go back to the other planet. So now I'm at the other outpost, and you'll notice that all those storages that were empty before are now full. And if everything would have been empty, they would all be full now. So you don't need to be this insane, but do know the more of these that you put together in these chains, the less often you have to go and reset, which it usually, if you get really fast at it, it'll take you 2 to 3 minutes to go do the thing where you go to Venus and come back. All right, but now that we have that, we have probably, I want to say 100,000 nickel and 100,000 cobalt right here in these storage containers. So now you're going to go to your industrial workbench. If you've got the bug, you got to save and load your game, which I'm going to have to do right now. And now we're all set. We're going to use the industrial workbench. We're going to go to the iso-centered magnet. You're going to scroll down and make sure that it's the one at the top. It's very important that it's the one at the top. Then you're going to click it or press it or whatever, and you're going to try to line up your cursor right here. Now, I don't know if you have a cursor on Xbox. If you can't click like this on Xbox, then this is it's not going to be doable on Xbox. If you don't want to do like bumpers and go left to right one at a time or something, you need to craft 99 as fast as possible. So you need to click there, and then whatever this button here is, it's E on keyboard. You're going to press E. So you're going to get in this rhythm of going click, click, E, click, click, E. And every time you do that, you get 100 XP. Now, there's a trick with the mouse where I can, like, try to lift my mouse off the mouse pad right when I get it in the spot. It's really hard to do, but there we go. My mouse is up in the air now, so I can't move it at all. It's in position now. So now what I can do is I can just start spamming left click and E, and I can do this. And this will get me probably about 20,000 XP per minute. Now, if you want to go hardcore, now on Xbox, you're limited pretty hard on how fast you can go. This right here is about as fast as you can go on Xbox. On PC, I tried using auto hotkey, and it does not mesh well with this game. It just bugs out and like goes really slow. So the fastest way I found was not with a macro. The fastest way I found to do this on PC was to exit out of this entirely, and then go to the settings and go to bindings. And then you can go to the bindings, you can scroll all the way down on keyboard, mouse and keyboard at least, all the way down to menu navigation accept, and I'm going to make it right click. Then I'm going to back out of this with tab and say exit anyway, even though there's conflicts. I'll fix them later. I'll reset everything to default later. Then we use it again. Now I can get set up that same way, try to get the mouse right where I can, and then get it off the mouse pad. And then what I can do is, and I don't, it's hard for me to explain this to you, but I have this mouse where it's on the table facing me, and I'm holding it where I have like both my pointer and middle fingers on both the left click and right. So my left hand has the pointer and middle fingers on the right click, and my right hand has the pointer and middle fingers on the left click. And then I can start clicking with both fingers as fast as I can, and I can do this. Now, you don't have to do it like me. You can do it any which way you want. Whatever makes sense for you to figure out what the fastest and most reasonable thing is. But doing this like this will get you 20,000 XP per minute. Easily. It'll easily get you 20,000 XP per minute. It'll probably get you a little bit more than that even. So, that's it, guys. Hopefully, this helped you out. It's complicated, but once you get it set up, you can just farm XP forever. I was able to hit level 100 in about 40 minutes or so, and I'm sure I could find ways to speed that up a little. I'm actually looking into ways of making this go even faster, better ways to do this, and I have some ideas, and when I think them up and I get them all perfected and stuff, I will post another video and let you guys know. But this is it, guys. This is pretty much the fastest way to get XP outside of just using console commands or something. And if you're on Xbox, this is going to be your only option, basically, for now at least, until I find a better way, which I have better ways in mind, which I will post about later on. I already went to level 102 off that. We can go here and take a look. And I'm almost level 103 already. In case you didn't know, there is no max level in this game. Levels are unlimited. So doing this is actually amazing because then eventually you can just buy every single skill available by doing this. That's it, guys. I hope this tutorial helped you out. Now you know how to get unlimited XP, get 20,000 XP per minute in Starfield.